Welcome to the Today Show. I'm your host, Jay Stoyan. You're in for a special show today. We're out here, Burlington, Ontario, Plains Road. We're out here at Wellbeings. What a medical center, all about innovation, getting people healthy, positive. You're going to be so excited to meet the owner, the founder, the CEO, wonderful lady. On the show today, we're going to have Peggy Shepherd-DeGroot. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the Today Show. Welcome back to the show. Again, we're out here in Burlington, Ontario. We're here at Wellbeings, a beautiful medical center. We're here with the owner, the founder, the CEO, Peggy Shepherd-DeGroot. Peggy, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you very much, Jay, for inviting me to be on.
We're so excited. I did my heavy research on this beautiful office, this beautiful company platform. So many great things, but instead of me explaining these wonderful brochures along with the one that Peggy brought, Peggy, give us an overview of your establishment, how long you've been on business, and a little bit of focus on what you do, and then I'm going to jump in with some follow-ups.
Okay. Wellbeings started 16 years ago, first as a concept, and then we actually began the work when we realized that there was such a great need in our community for pain, addiction to substance uses, and mental health wellness. And I saw all of those areas integrated into the same person. And when I looked at what was available in healthcare, I saw that often there was the fragmented, siloed section, and created a new Wellbeings platform so that everything is a biopsychosocial, spiritual model of care.
Wow, that's great. Wow, see, that just put it all together. I love that. Now, you said pain, addiction, and mental health. So let me just ask you some questions like I guess just a person off the street might ask you, right? Like, could you treat any type? Is there a category of people or anybody coming off the street who has those three symptoms?
Well, they don't even have to have all three symptoms. Some people only have pain. And so at this location, we can treat trigger points and bursa injections, as well as do some medication management for people who have already got medications that they're taking, because lots of times people want to titrate down from what they've been on for a while. And we now know that many people over the course of the past 20-ish years, almost 19 years, since opioids really became a big deal, that many people are actually over-medicated. And they're not really getting the benefit of that. It's like there's a ceiling, and with that ceiling, they're just maybe getting dopier, and they sit on the couch and they don't seem to be able to do things. And so they actually improve when we reduce the amount of medication that they're on.
Wow. Now again, confirm, but this is an Ontario government approved platform office, right? Like you do deal with the Ontario government. So when people come in, they might ask, like, is this legit? Is this real? Right. Can you tell us more? So can you tell our viewers just a little bit about how you are connected with the government and how they support you and how you support them, and of course how we support the people?
So most of our services are covered by OHIP. So if you're an Ontario resident and you have an OHIP card, then most of the things that we do here are all covered, and you don't have to worry about any out-of-pocket expenses.
That is so important.
It is.
Because, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Well, I'm just going to say, for many people who are living paycheck to paycheck right now, and health is such an integral part of being able to get to work because you have to be healthy, then this service really is great for everybody.
I think everybody should know about that, because that's a great addition, right? Because like you said, how can you afford it? So that's wonderful. Now, I know there's 4 pillars, right? 4 categories. Can you tell us about the 4 briefly, like the ketamine and you tell us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we do have other services.
Okay.
Not everything is covered, but any of our pain treatments, those are covered. And we have a level 1 and level 2 facility, so that if it's not just trigger points and bursas, which would be considered like level 1, then the level 2 facility can offer the next level. And some of our doctors also are fully integrated into the hospital programs. So if, for instance, we had someone who came for treatment for pain, and we recognized that it wasn't non-cancer chronic pain, and we needed to get them, say, for cancer treatments, or we had some concern that maybe that was an issue. Then they would get sent right from us here to Juravinski. Immediately, so that there's not a lag time then between when people are seen here and where they need to be going, which is really nice. So we're fully integrated.
Okay, so let's play a little role game here. Okay, so I'm a disabled person. I am a disabled. I have an incurable illness, but I just say I'm in a lot of pain. And I live in Burlington, and I see, wow, I'm just going to go in off the street. Take me through a little bit of a process. So I knock on your door, I come in, and I say, I'm in a lot of pain, and I saw your place. Can you help me? What would we do next?
Well, first, because the government has some rules. So for pain treatments, we have to have a referral for you. So we would need a referral either from your general practitioner or from a specialist. It could be a neurologist, it could be anybody.
Could you get it from the hospital? Because a lot of people don't have doctors.
Yes, we do get referrals from the hospital. So if you happen to walk in to, let's say, Joseph Brand Hospital here in town, and they believe that you can be better treated or that we can make an offering to you here, then yes, the referral can be made. And
then the process starts.
The process starts.
And you come in and you evaluate and and would it be the same for ketamine or what are the other two for psychology?
Well, let's back up a little bit for some of our frontline stuff that is all covered by OHIP. So we also offer treatments for addiction care. And so if somebody has a substance use disorder, and we are non-judgmental, but for the grace of God, go any one of us if we were in pain and chose to either drink a lot or to use other substances to reduce our pain. Or we have psychological pain that causes us stomach aches and headaches. We recognize that people need help. And so for any of the substance use disorders, then people can self-refer. So they don't need to have a referral. They can walk right in and say, hi, I'm using cocaine or I'm using methamphetamines and I would like some help in reducing my substance use disorders.
Wow, that's so informative. Thank you for sharing that. And then the mental health, this is where we kind of get involved because of the disability channel. So a lot of our staff, like we work with March of Dimes, Easter Seals, Workman Arts, and a lot of our staff and friends and associates have mental health issues. So can you talk a little bit about that world and how you help people that way?
So we help people that way when they present with their referrals for either pain or addiction. So we don't individually see patients who, for instance, might just have schizophrenia, but no other problems in terms of pain or substance use disorders. But it's really hard to have pain and substance use disorders and not be suffering mentally with those issues. So we don't preclude somebody if they're coming to us because of their pain or because of their addictions.
And I guess you might have patients that come in that have all three. They need help for all three, right?
Absolutely. Yes, because people are complex. And in that complexity, we need to take care of an entire person. We can't be shuffling them off to everybody else and then they wait 2 months or they wait 6 months or they wait 18 months in between. That in itself causes great anxiety for people.
Wow. Why don't we do this? Because I know you have some great stories to share, especially one. I would love for you to share that story. But let's take a quick break because when we come back, we're going to get Peggy to share some positive success stories with patients that they have helped in the past. And also we're going to be introducing the veteran world. So stay tuned. We're out here in Burlington at Wellbeings with the owner, founder, CEO, Peggy Shepherd DeGroot. You're watching the Today Show. We'll be right back.
All about inclusion and really giving everyone a fair say.
Welcome to the Today Show. This is our flagship show. I am Unstoppable Tracy.
I am Zach Damon.
It is a pleasure to be here. I am excited. What is up?
We have
a great show today.
Jay Stoyan here for the Disability Channel, the world's only inclusive channel for and by persons with disabilities.
Get ready to be inspired, everyone.
We have people watching from all over the world, but also all over Ontario.
We also take a concerted attention in the veterans community.
In moments of stress and trauma, we can get a hold of ourselves.
To help make a difference for people with disabilities, to show people how to love themselves or their disability.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me, giving this platform for myself and other people with disabilities.
Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this episode of the Disability Channel Detroit. Please tune in next time.
Welcome back to the Today Show. On the show today we have...
Give me some space after.
Oh, sorry. Welcome back to the Today Show. On the show today we have the CEO from Wellbeings. We have Peggy DeGroot and Shepherd. That's great. Peggy, I just want to, we're talking off the air and I want to hear your story. Let's hear your story, how this all became about.
Okay. I was involved in helping a cousin of mine who had special needs to be able to live on his own. And I went to seek some help from someone to ask questions. And as a result of that luncheon that I took this lawyer to, I was able to, I spent all afternoon with him. And at the end, I said to him, this was much more than a lunch date. I mean, I spent the last 4 hours with you. I must owe you a bill. And he said, what I'd like you to do is put that money that you think you would have paid me toward all your volunteer work. I've been an avid volunteer over the last, I can't tell you, many decades, I'll just say, in Burlington as well. I started volunteering when I was 12.
Nice.
And so he then challenged me to go and volunteer somewhere where I never would have volunteered before.
Wow, that's a great challenge.
It is. And as a result of that, the geriatrician that I was working with, I spoke to him because I knew that he had worked at a methadone clinic. And so I spoke to him and I thought, well, I probably wouldn't work with people who had drug use problems. So that would be definitely fitting into the section where I wouldn't have normally volunteered. And I developed with him a self-esteem program. And we were going to run a contest for self-esteem, and we were going to have t-shirts that were made available and try and promote and increase people's self-esteem.
Okay.
And as a former teacher, I thought that's something that I'm very, very comfortable in doing. So we developed the program, and as a result of that, we produced these wonderful t-shirts. And that should have been the end of it.
Okay.
Except there was one situation that changed my life forever when I was there.
Here we go, The cliffhanger.
This was not at Wellbeings.
No.
I was doing something that was going to start and stop and be finished. However, I think God had another plan. And as a result of that day, it changed my life forever.
Wow.
There was a gentleman who came in to be seen by the doctor at the addiction clinic, and he'd evidently, it appeared to me, he'd been in a fight because he had a knife wound up his arm.
Okay.
That was bleeding, and he had it wrapped and he needed to have it fixed. And this doctor immediately pulled out his doctor bag and stitched him up, and that was the beginning of the appointment. And the way that they did things at that clinic, it was a little different than what we do here. However, urine drug screens are a typical method to see what substances may be in someone's body at the time. And the doctor asked the fellow if he had taken any drugs that week. And the reason the doctor asked ahead of time was because the fellow had said to him he wouldn't take drugs that week. He was going to absolutely not take drugs. He was going to follow the doctor's prescription. And in fact, there were a number of substances that were found in his urine. And there was a bit of a kerfuffle back and forth between the two of them. And at one point, the fellow stood up. And he was a large man. I will say he was 6'7" and probably 350 or 400 pounds. He was very large and kind of ominous. And the doctor was no slouch either. He was 6'2", I will say, and 220 pounds. And the men spoke back and forth, and the heat was rising. And I was not near the door. I was in the back behind the desk, and I had been given approval to sit there by the doctor and by the patient as part of this program. And at one point, the doctor told the patient to sit down, and he told him how disappointed he was because the fellow had promised that he wasn't going to use street drugs that week. And there were lots of expletives that took place during that meeting as well that I will not repeat here on air. But what ended up happening was the man sat back down and the doctor sat back down. And the doctor said to him, "I'm so disappointed in you. I really believed you when you told me you weren't going to use street drugs this week. And I don't know why you did, because you promised me you wouldn't." And the man started to break down. And he was like a very large man. And I'm sorry, I'm trying not to break down either. But
Good, no.
This man changed my life. The man said, "No one's ever believed in me. My parents didn't believe in me. My teachers didn't believe in me." And he used some expletives again. And he said, "Next week, I won't have any drugs in my system. You wait." And that was the end of that meeting. And the next week when he came, he was drug-free because finally someone believed in him.
Wow.
And I thought, it takes to the age of, I don't know how old this man was, 35 or 38 or 40, I don't know. But I thought, we have a real disengagement here. We need people to know that there's hope, that there's help, and that there's someone who believes in you. So that changed my life 16 years ago.
That's a great story. What a game changer.
It was a game changer. I mean, if you'd asked me, 17 years ago, if I'd be doing this, I would have thought you crazy. But I took one whole year to do my due diligence.
Yeah.
My master's in education was in decision-making modeling. And I looked at what was out there for people who lived in pain, who had addictions, who had mental health challenges. And I came up with this new model. And when I say a new model, it's a Wellbeings model.
Yeah.
There were similar type models out there before, but Halton, we're in Burlington, so it's part of Halton.
Yeah.
And Halton was one of 4 underserviced areas that was written up in a government proposal for 2006 called "Every Door is the Right Door."
Wow.
And at that time, Halton was one community that you could get no addiction care in.
Really? Wow.
And so I started in 2009.
Okay.
So nothing had changed in those 3 years.
Yeah.
And that's how I started, because I said, if no one can come in Burlington for help like this, let's create a safe environment where people can come for help.
That's wonderful.
That would be a place that I'd want to go to if I had to
And
go
it's
to.
your creation. This is wonderful, Peggy. That's so important for the community. And so anybody, you can be an able-bodied,
Yes.
you can be disabled, and you can be a veteran, which I'd like to transition into now.
Okay.
So at the Disability Channel, we created employment programs for persons with disabilities and veterans since 2021, and we're expanding. We just got back from the Invictus Games. We're dealing now with the U.S. Pentagon and some very high military men and women in the United States to duplicate what we're doing in Canada. And here comes Peggy, right? So we are, you know what, hold that thought. I got my producer screaming in my ear. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to set up the future. You're watching the Today Show. I'm Jay Stoyan. We'll be right back.
Thank you, Premier. Again, we're here on Wings Bar and interviewing. I know something special. Sorry. Here for Jay. You know, Jay is, put his life to helping other people. And we need more people like Jay. And this is just a certificate. I'm going to read it out to the people. And the title is Disability Channel with Gratitude for all you do. Congratulations to the Disability Channel, PDF, TDC, on your incredible achievements in your 10 years of unwavering dedication to the disability community. For the past decade, TDC has been a true leader, creating original programs for and by people with disabilities. Your commitment to inclusivity and empowering individuals with disabilities is something we deeply value in Ontario. Your efforts to employ, support, and showcase the talents of people with disabilities are having a real impact, not just here in Ontario, but around the world. It's inspiring to see an organization like TDC lead the way, blazing a new trail, making sure everyone, no matter their background or ability, has a chance to succeed. Thank you for all your hard work, Jay. Just do an incredible job to support communities and for helping to build a stronger, more inclusive Ontario. Here's to you, my friend. 10 more years of success. May God bless you. I'll always have your back. We need more people like Jay. So thank you.
Sure.
Yes, a big change.
Sure, appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Welcome back to the show. On the show today, we have the CEO from Wellbeings. We have Peggy Shepherd DeGroot. We're talking about her wonderful facility where she focuses on helping people with pain, addiction, and mental health. And I was just saying about how we're involved with veterans, and now we're going to be collaborating with Peggy and her wonderful establishment and her wonderful team. So what we're going to be doing here is mixing together health for veterans, a new skill, and a job in media, right? And it's going to be, it's win-win for everybody, right, Peggy? Like, to get people healthy, and you don't have to just be a veteran, but we're going to focus on veterans, right? Because we already help a lot of people with disabilities, and they're all welcome too, but this is going to be a veteran program, and then we're going to bring everybody onto the Disability Channel for employment. So we're going to get you healthy, whether you're disabled or not, veteran, get you a new skill, and get them working.
And I'll suggest that if people get healthy, they will have a number of opportunities for employment as well. So if they have a different idea about what they'd really like to do, if you pursue your passion, then it's never a job.
So tell the camera about the veterans, how they're going to qualify.
So veterans already qualify for all the programs that we offer here at Wellbeings, Medical Center for Innovation and Excellence. And that's because of the insurance model that they have and the great desire to get everyone healthy and well again.
Great, and we have the linkage, we have the network, so we're going to be working hard. We're going to be setting up teams to get every veteran across Canada, our hero, healthy.
Absolutely. The people that have really given their all for us, it's time that we give our all back to them as well.
100%. So Peggy, if people want to find out more information on this wonderful place, where could they go?
Well, we have a website,
yeah,
which is www. I don't know that you have to say that anymore.
I think people just say that.
Yeah, we do. Wellbeings, WELLBEINGS.ca. And there's a listing of all the different programs that we have. Specifically for veterans, there are some programs which are not covered by OHIP, unfortunately. Okay. And those programs have to do with our ketamine programs, and they have to do with our TMS, our transcranial magnetic stimulation programs.
Okay, okay. This is good to know. There's so much information. So again, the website again, give it out again?
It's wellbeings with an S.ca.
Well, that's great. Yeah.
We have a phone number too if people prefer to call, because we handle things the old-fashioned way too. It's 905 631 9355. And 9355 spells well.
Beautiful. And if they want to, in case you miss it, you can always get in touch with them through me, through the channel. We'll always put you in touch with Peggy. So again, I really want to thank you, Peggy, for being on today. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take another quick break, and we're going to come back and wrap the show with just a couple updates. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Check out Wellbeings, wonderful location out here in Burlington / Aldershot. Again, I'm Jay Stoyan. We'll be right back with the Today Show.
Hi, I'm Karina Gould, the Member of Parliament for Burlington. I'm very sorry I'm not able to join you this evening due to unforeseen circumstances, but I hope you have a wonderful fundraiser. I really want to give my hats off to Jay and the Disability Channel for coming up with this idea and implementing it and doing such tremendous work to support folks with disabilities and veterans. At the federal government, we are pleased to support the Disability Channel and partner with them, particularly through their unique EI program. Your work tonight, your efforts fundraising are making a big difference in the lives of people here in this area and giving them an opportunity to participate in media and find their calling. So I hope you have a successful evening. Once again, I'm very sorry I'm not able to be there, but big congratulations to Jay and the whole team for your vision, for your leadership, and making this channel a reality. Congratulations and have a wonderful evening, everybody.
Hi, I'm Eric Lindros. You're watching the Disability Channel, showcasing abilities.
Welcome back to the show. Again, I'm Jay Stoyan. You're watching the Today Show. We're out here in Burlington, Ontario on Plains Road at Wellbeings with the CEO, Peggy Shepherd DeGroot. Wonderful lady doing wonderful things for people who really need help. Persons with disabilities, able-bodied people, and veterans. So again, if you want to find out more information about her wonderful establishment, wellbeings.ca. I just want to give you guys a few updates before we go. I'm going to be hitting the road for this whole month of May with Navy veteran, 84-year-old Navy veteran, Fraser Newcomb. He's going to be performing at Legions across Ontario. Tonight, we're going to be going to Parry Sound, tomorrow Port Perry, and then Tillsonburg on Sunday for Mother's Day. I know, Mother's Day. Eek. Ooh, sorry, Mom. Again, I'm Jay Stoyan. If you want to find out more information on the channel or enroll in our programs, you can go to www.thedisabilitychannel.ca. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, 647-339-6847. Give me a call. Again, I'm Jay Stoyan. You're watching the Today Show. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was great.